The other day I was watching a reel, and one of the points that was made in the video is that change is hard, but staying the same is harder. And when I saw that, it reminded me of how I've been feeling these past couple months. And just to give a bit of backstory before I get into the realization that I had a couple months back, probably like 6 months ago, when I started really my walk with God. It also coincided with when I started making these videos. But around 6 months ago, I was still living in the lifestyle that God brought me out of. And, I was in this physical space. I was in this apartment. I had just moved in, my senior year, and I was comfortable. I felt comfortable, and I had my own room. I have my own room, and I was comfortable in my own room doing my own thing. And as my relationship with God strengthened, it became less and less comfortable, to a point where when I'm in my room, when I'm in this apartment, it feels like things have changed. It feels like things aren't the same. And I've been saying this over and over to friends and family, my mom, who I talk to a lot, things just don't feel the same. Like, I'm not comfortable where I'm at right now. And when I saw that, it made me realize that, maybe it's not the place that's changed, but it's me. I've changed. And what I wanted to share really is that, the reason that you might be feeling this way, because I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this way. You're noticing your environment. It doesn't feel the way it used to. You're starting to notice that the things you listen to, the things you watch, the people you hang around, they no longer appeal to you the way they once did. And a reason for that, possible reason, is that you're outgrowing the place that you're in right now. You're outgrowing who you used to be. And so it's becoming difficult for you to remain in a place you're in physically, because you're growing mentally and spiritually. The overarching message of Proverbs is to get wisdom, get understanding, keep God's commandments, and live. And as you've strengthened your relationship with God, He's opened your eyes to His truth, to Him, and you now see the reality of the world that we live in. The world that we live in is filled with deception, lies, and wickedness, and that might have been the lifestyle that you were living before you started your walk with God. And now that you've strengthened your relationship with Him, you have outgrown the place that you're in, because He's allowed you to come up higher. He's elevated your thinking. He's elevated the way that you carry yourself. So the habits, the people that you used to talk to, the environment, the physical environment, and that's the most specific thing, I think, for me at least, the physical environment that I'm in, or these other, aspects that you're in, they no longer appeal to you. They no longer are giving you what you need in order to, to proceed with your life. And, that's why that part in that reel where it says, staying the same is harder, is because you're realizing that you can't even do the things that you used to do because it doesn't serve you in any way anymore. It's like the whole concept of don't go back to Egypt. There's nothing there. It's empty. It's stagnant. It's staying the same. That's the whole, that's the realization, is that it's not the place that has changed, because that place that you used to be, it's in the past, and the things of the past are unchanging. It's you that's changed. You're being called. The Lord has called you by name to come up higher, to elevate yourself, to gain wisdom, gain his understanding, know his truth by reading his word. And that's why it related, that's why it reminded me of how I've been feeling. And I'm like, this, this feeling that I've been having for months now. And it kind of just all came together, where it's like, it's not the place that's changing, but it's you. You've outgrown it. And so once this realization hit, it was like, okay, now what? Like, what do I do with this? How do I go on from here? And I was talking to a friend about this, and he recommended that I meditate on it, that I pray about it. And so this would be the next step, to tune into God's word even more, to pray more, to spend more time with him, so that you can hear his instruction, allow him to guide you in the way that he's leading you. Because again, the place that you're in, it no longer is serving you the way that it used to, the way that it used to in your past life. And so it goes back to that saying where it's, your new life is going to cost you your old one. The habits that you're doing, they no longer serve you, and you can feel that. There's no longer this satisfaction that you gain from the temporary fixes that you used to run to. It's because you now understand and you know who God is. You know what he can do. You know how his love and his mercy and grace can fulfill and sustain and strengthen you. And so this is the time to strengthen your relationship with him even more, to read his word even more, to pray even more. I hope this helps. I hope that, whoever might be feeling this way, it gives you a possibility as to why you're feeling that way. I pray that this message gets to whoever it needs to. Thank you, and God bless.